Most of us are taught that the only way to get rich is to earn more money. Work more, get a promotion, land that bigger salary. But what if I told you the real secret to building wealth has almost nothing to do with how hard you work, and everything to do with a quiet, invisible force that does the hard work for you?
In fact, this force is so powerful, so mind-bending, that Albert Einstein himself reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. So what on earth was he talking about? Well, let's dive in.
All right, so that quiet force is called compound interest. And I'm telling you, once you really get how this works, you will never look at your money, or more importantly, your time, the same way ever again. It completely changes the entire game. So what is it exactly? Well, put simply, it's earning interest on your interest. Imagine you invest $100 and it grows by 10%. Easy enough, after year one, you've got $110. But here's where the magic happens. The next year, you don't earn interest on that original $100 anymore. No, you earn it on the new total of $110. So you get $11, not $10. Your money literally starts making its own money.
The best way to picture this in your head is to think of a small snowball at the top of a really, really long hill. At first, it's tiny, right? It barely picks up any new snow as it rolls. But the longer it rolls, the bigger it gets. And the bigger it gets, the faster it grows, picking up more and more snow with every single turn. That snowball, that's your money.
Let's look at this side by side to see just how different these paths really are. With simple interest, your growth is totally predictable. It's a straight line. You get the same $10 year after year. But with compound interest, your money grows on a curve. It starts off slow, yeah, but then it really begins to take off. That extra $1.10 you made in year two, that little bit is the seed for huge growth down the road. And here, you can actually see the difference. That straight line, it's steady, sure, but it's slow. That curved line, well, that's exponential growth. It might not look like much is happening at the beginning, but you just wait. Over time, the gap between those two lines becomes an absolute canyon. And that canyon, my friends, is the power of compounding. Okay, so this brings us to what is maybe the most important lesson of all. When it comes to building wealth, time is a way more powerful tool than money. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. When you start matters so much more than how much you start with.
Let's look at a real-world example. Let's say you start investing just $100 a month when you're 25 years old. And let's say you earn a pretty standard 8% return. By the time you're ready to retire at 65, you'd have around $310,000. Pretty amazing for what's basically a couple of coffees a week, right?
But now, watch what happens if you wait. Same $100 a month, same 8% return, but you start at age 35 instead of 25. By age 65, your final number is only about $140,000. It's less than half.
That 10-year delay, just one decade, costs you a whopping $170,000. That is the staggering, brutal cost of waiting. And here's the thing, you can always find a way to make more money. You can get a side hustle, ask for a raise, but you can never, ever buy back lost time. Those 10 years are gone for good. Okay, so now that we all understand why this is so powerful, you're probably thinking, great, how do I actually do this? Well, the best part is, you don't need a finance degree or a secret password to get started. Here is a dead simple plan to get your snowball rolling down that hill. Seriously, it's this straightforward. 1. Open an investment account. 2. You don't have to be a stock-picking genius. Just pick a simple, broad market fund, an ETF. Think of it like a basket that holds tiny pieces of hundreds of the biggest companies. 3. Set up automatic investments. This is key. Even if it's just $10 a week, make it automatic so you don't even have to think about it. 4. Always, always reinvest your dividends. Let those little payments buy more shares and compound. And 5. The hardest step of all. Give it time. Just let it sit and grow. For decades.
And honestly, that last step is the real secret sauce. See, this whole thing isn't really a math game, it's a psychology game, it's a patience game. The real challenge and where the real reward is comes from being able to just leave it alone and play the long game.
Now, let me be totally honest with you here. The first 5, maybe even 10 years of this, it's going to feel slow, painfully slow. You'll check your account and think, is this thing even working? And the answer is, yes, it is. That's just your snowball getting started. The really crazy, explosive growth only kicks in after a long, long period of quiet, consistent rolling. You just have to trust the process. This is exactly why so many people never get to see the magic happen. They fall into one of these traps. They quit before the snowball gets big enough to get interesting. They get distracted by get-rich-quick schemes instead of just sticking with slow, proven growth. They panic and sell everything the second the market gets a little bumpy. They forget that consistency, day in and day out, will always beat short, intense bursts of effort.
So the big takeaway here is pretty simple. Real, lasting wealth isn't built on a lucky lottery ticket. It's not about one hot stock pick. It is not built overnight. It's built block by block, dollar by dollar, over decades of patience, discipline, and letting that quiet, unstoppable force of compound interest do its spin.
You don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start. Every single dollar you invest today is like hiring a tiny little employee that works for you around the clock for the rest of your life. So the only real question left is the one right here. Your snowball is sitting right there at the top of the hill just waiting. When are you going to give it that first little push?